Joseph inherited his family's estate, and so he's going through everything, and he's found some things he's going to donate off to the thrift store. One thing was a typewriter in a case.
Like a briefcase, yeah.
They used to come in real big cases, these old-fashioned typewriters, I don't know if you... But they're really big and they're really bulky. He didn't open it up. I mean, he's not going to use the typewriter or anything, so he just picked up the briefcase, didn't look in it. He donated the typewriter briefcase off to a thrift store. Thrift store, of course, checks everything to make sure it works, and so when they open up to see if the typewriter works, they're like, well, there's no typewriter in here.
No, it was just a lot of memorabilia.
Letters and photos that go back 80 years.
There was even one letter from his grandmother to, I think, his mom. There were report cards. I mean, everything, handwritten. And so, of course, the thrift store's like, oh, we have to figure out who donated this. Because not all the time do you get a receipt. And I don't think the thrift store keeps a copy, of your name when you do drop some things off. So it took a little bit of digging for them to find out who it belonged to.
They found Joseph. He's got it back. He's going through all this stuff and a flood of memories that are coming in.
And things that he's probably never laid his eyes on before. Some of these letters, his mom's report card, and she was a good student. I took a look.
Good.
She had mostly A's, it looked like. So, he can kind of relive it and get a piece of his parents that he never had before, a little look into their lives pre him.
We're torn about saving things.
It's hard to let things go when, my dad passed quite a few years ago, and just knowing this was part of him. I still have an email from my dad in my Yahoo account, and I've kept it all these years.
Nice.
One of the last emails that he sent me where he told me he loved me and he knew God, and
that's a good email to keep. I'm glad that was the communication.
Yeah.
Wow. She's about to lose it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Middle school teacher asked his students, what is it about your parents that make you cringe? Middle school students, okay? They got pretty good honest. Here's a couple of them. My mom uses Facebook.
Yeah.
My parents take selfies.
In the mirror selfies.
Yeah. She makes me order off the kids menu. I'm 13.
I love it.
Come on. I'm 13. Kids menu. I'm sorry about this one. But this is a middle school student that said this, okay? That's the disclaimer. A middle school student said this that makes them cringe about their dad. And because their dad... Liz knows what this is.
I do.
Say it.
Dad still wears Speedos.
Yeah. I'm cringing on that one.
I am too, a little bit. One said, my mom still dabs.
Yeah.
I just did it, so.
On
cringe.
TikTok. And then evidently saying that's tight is a thing. This one middle school student doesn't like their parents saying that's tight.
I would think high schoolers feel the same way.
Of course.
I said something like, oh, that's cap to my son. And he looked at me like, you've got to be kidding.
Like, you know what that means?
Yeah.
What?
Jake,
can you explain? And can it be explained? Are you allowed to explain in front of kids? Because I don't know what it means.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Simply put, it means that's a lie.
Yeah.
Cap means a lie?
Yeah, I have no idea why. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, so there you go. I'm sure your parents do something that make you cringe as well.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I got a bad feeling about this. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio. It's an iconic line.
Are you quoting
Yeah.
Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
You are Han Solo?
And Princess Leia, because, it's in every movie.
Who says that?
Han Solo and Princess Leia says it in Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. I forgot the line now.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling.
Got a bad feeling about this. Star Wars, iconic. They also have this whole Star Wars thing that's at Disney World, right?
Yeah.
They have a hotel that's all Star Wars theme that has only 100 rooms, and you would think they could, but they can't fill it. They cannot fill it. You'd think it's only 100 rooms. That's not a really big hotel. They'd sell out every night, you'd think, with this whole Star Wars thing.
I want to stay there.
Yeah, well,
Wouldn't you like to?
I can't afford it. It's $5,000 a night.
A night?
No wonder why they can't fill that hotel. Come on, $5,000 a night.
What? Does Han Solo bring you breakfast? Like what?
Well, he has a bad feeling about it.
Oh, well, I guess he does.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
They were renovating a home that they had recently purchased, and so they're in the bathroom, and they don't like the mirror that's on the wall, and so they're taking it down, I guess. And they found 2 letters behind the mirror, which is odd. I never even would think to look, which is kind of cool. So the first letter that they found was from 1967.
54 years ago, really?
And it was a little girl. She was, I think she was 8 years old. Her name's Sue. And it was basically just, I wanted to write you a letter. You know, hi, my name is Sue, and whatever, I live here. Whoever finds it, good luck.
Good luck.
I know, like, I hate this house.
And
good
put
luck
down
to
the
you.
date, huh? 1967.
Right. And so they then found the other letter, and it's a little more recent, 1995. And
You call that more recent?
well, I mean, then 1967, yes. And so the 2 people that were renovating and found the letters got in contact with both of the letter writers.
Oh, nice.
And they found them, invited them back to the house, and showed off the letters, took a picture, you know, a little selfie with everybody. It was kind of cool.
That is neat, especially that they were, close enough by to get back over to the house.
Yeah, and Sue, the one that wrote the letter back in 1967, she doesn't really remember writing it.
Well, she was, what, 8 years old?
But still, if you go to the trouble of writing the letter and then putting, like, it was in an envelope, a homemade envelope, and then putting it behind the mirror, you would think you'd have some sort of recollection that you did that. But
Yeah.
she's like, I didn't know I did this.
Forgot.
yeah.
But look what it did. It
Kinda
brought
cool.
people together.
And that's what it's mostly about.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I love that he knew we were going through some things and said, I can do something about that. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
Talking about a gas station owner in Phoenix, Arizona. In Phoenix, my sister-in-law and niece are there right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They told me gas is $4.49 a gallon there.
Oh, that hurts.
$4.49 a gallon. There's this one gas station owner in Phoenix that said, I'm going to charge 10 cents less
That's huge.
and lose money. So he's doing $4.39 a gallon, which is 10 cents less than anybody else that's in town. And here's the thing. Nobody can match him, but he's not making a profit because he's losing 10 cents a gallon. He says he gets on average 1,500 gallons a day out of this gas station, and he's taking a loss of about $150 a day.
Wow, that adds up. I mean,
Yeah.
$150 is pretty significant anyway, but, times 7. Whew.
Yeah. So he's losing money every week, but he said he came to this country in 2008. He wants to be a part of the community. He's done well so far, and he's okay with taking a loss because he just wants to help people in his community. And even though $4.39 is still a lot of money, it's not $4.49.
No,
so
but-
at least they're saving 10 cents a gallon.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a couple of cars you got to fill up, and, over time, that's going to add up to where maybe you could afford some extra groceries or some different things that you need. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll take a while to add up, but at the same time, he's doing what he can to help.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Let's check in with the open mic that just came in on the app.
Hey, His Radio. I'm 13 years old and my name's Autumn. And you guys are my favorite people on the radio. Thank you so much for Rob and Liz for always encouraging me and helping me get through my day. I love you guys so much, and thank you for telling me every day that God loves me and I'm loved, and thank you very much.
Well, you are, Autumn, and that was so sweet to leave such a nice open mic on the My HISRadio app.
It really is. I mean, 13 years old, maybe getting ready for school this morning or already on her way, and just likes hanging out and listening and getting that message, which is really what his radio is all about, that message of hope of Jesus and to know that you're loved.
And I love the fact that you're involved in that and you have that type of influence at this radio station. You do, because we're community supported. a listener-supported outreach here at His Radio. And I can't help but think about Friendraiser that's coming up April the 5th. If that's a foreign language to you, Friendraiser, what, you need more friends? Those who give a gift of support, we're raising the operational budget for this listener-supported radio station. So together, we're touching lives just like Autumn, a 13-year-old girl who just needs to know every morning that Jesus loves her.
Yeah.
You know?
Or wherever, someone is in their life, they need to know, I need to know daily that God loves me no matter what. And you have the opportunity to share that same message with somebody else. We're listener supported, as Rob said, and you can go ahead and give your gift of support online right now at hisradio.com, the My His Radio app. Even text the word give to 800-447-7234.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Let me tell you about three ladies, Emily, Jody, and Mary. These three got together and they wanted to do something. They wanted to hide books. Nice books. They got together, about 30 books, and now they're known as, and I like what they came up with, Tucson, Tome, Gnome.
It's such a weird name.
And they hide these books all over Tucson, and then people just kind of go, oh, what's this? Oh, it's a free book.
Yeah. There's one guy that found a book, said he had wanted to read this particular book, but he just didn't have the money. And then when he found out that somebody didn't leave this book behind, that he was absolutely supposed to pick it up, take it, read it, maybe gift it to somebody else, he was blown away. Another mother found a book that was a kid's book. And her daughter wants her to read it every single night.
That's so cool. So these three ladies, in just a few months, hit about 100 books. Their goal is like 30. They hit about 100 books. And then this is catching on so well in Tucson that the community got together, raised $5,000, gave it to these three ladies, and said, go buy more books and hide them.
$5,000 go a long way.
For books? I mean, if it's paperback, it's what, anywhere between $5, $8, and $10. Hardback books are 20 to 30.
Right, but you can always find them on sale, or you can go, if you buy in bulk, or maybe even, they don't have to be brand new books. You can pass along, very good condition books.
And they just hide them, which is so neat. So it's like a little special gift and treat. Now, Tucson knows all about the Tucson Tome Gnome.
I love it when people do this around our town. In the wintertime, you'll find like crocheted hats and gloves and scarves. A little note, and it's just like, this is for you. You found it. This is for you.
Yeah, hanging on a fence or around a post
or on the
downtown or
playground.
something. It's
Sure.
just, it's really neat. You know exactly what that's for. I have in a neighborhood I used to live in, one of those book things. It's a free book thing, and it's on I don't know what you call it, but you open up the doors, and there it is.
And
the community swaps out books that way.
I like that. I wish we did that in our neighborhood, because I love to read, and I never have anybody to kind of swap books with.
In Liz's neighborhood, what's the closest neighbor?
A deer.
A deer. See, she lives out in the middle of nowhere.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Something about Amy, when she was born, she had one full arm, and then the other arm didn't fully develop. Well, she got through life the way that she did. There's a lot of times that she was embarrassed and she hid, especially when she got married and started having kids. She's like, I can't take my kids out. I can't hold both of them. I've got one arm. And then all of a sudden, something happened when she heard that there was such a thing called the hero arm.
Yeah. She got her friends together, or they went on social media, they raised some money, came up with $13,000. This hero arm is 3D printed. It's like a bionic arm. And because they raised that money for her, she was able to get one, and she had to learn everything. She said it took hours and hours just to learn to give a thumbs up. But it was totally worth it.
Yeah, she had to learn how to move her muscles in her arm, the half arm that she has, to manipulate the fingers and the thumb and everything. Now, it's like, it took her about 4 weeks, but a lot of hours to do this. Now she can hold her other child's hand. She can hold both their hands and just bring them across the parking lot or whatever. This is like a new lease on life for her, and she is so, so grateful.
These 3D printers are really changing lives. They've, started building homes for Habitat for Humanity and things like this. And now this arm, this hero arm, they say they have them where they can fit adults as well as children. As long as the kids are over 8 years old, they can have a hero arm if necessary.
She's like so happy that she can pick up with her left hand now, with the bionic arm, a glass to drink water with.
Of course.
She's like, look at this. I can grab a glass and bring it up. And she's got this biggest smile on her face.
I can imagine when she learned how to give the thumbs up, she just did it over and over and over. Like,
right?
Look, I can do.
Way to go.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
By chance, you know anybody that walks around with Dorito breath? You know who I'm talking about because they love the Doritos. Liz has some information for them that's really, really, really important. It's Rob and Liz on His Radio.
You may notice a little something, but the Dorito company, the Lay's Corporation, I guess, came out and said, okay, the bags are going to go from 9.75 ounces to 9.25 ounces. And I was like, what in the world does that even mean? Because of inflation, they don't want to charge us anymore for our bags of Doritos. So what they're doing is they're taking 5 chips out of them. You're going to have 5 fewer chips in your bag of Doritos.
Okay, well, not as many calories.
Not as many calories.
Right,
So what if
yeah.
you eat the whole bag? That's a 9-ounce bag, so that's a big old bag. I
Yeah.
think that's like the family bag or whatever. But so 5 fewer. So I guess the personal size Doritos bags, maybe 1 fewer chip. They all get crushed at the bottom anyway. I wouldn't know the difference.
There's one thing that I wish that the chip companies in general would stop doing.
What's that?
Inflating the bags with so much air that it looks like you're getting like a huge bag of chips. You're like, this is a great value. You open it up, and it's only a quarter of the way full because the rest of the bag is just air.
It's just air.
Air. That's it.
Pick it up, shake it. I do that because I want to make sure they're not all broken because I can't stand them.
You shake it, you're going to break it.
No, you don't. It's not like you're like,
That
you just, a little shake. Okay, they're good. They're intact.
You shake
so we're
it,
good.
you break it.
Really?
Yeah.
You
They're
break it,
gonna
you
be
buy
all-
it.
Going to be all crumbs.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If your parents gave you something to wear that both of them were wearing, how would you actually react? Everyone wearing the same outfit. How would you react? It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio.
A lot of people plan this, like a mom and a daughter. Lilly Pulitzer is a company that will sell a mom dress and a daughter dress, and they're the same. They're a little different, but the same design. And so a lot of people do this. Not necessarily once you grow up and get in your 30s, 40s, 50s, do you want to dress like your parents. However, Stan and his family, they have a lot of fun. Stan's parents gave him a puffer vest.
I don't know what that is.
The puffy, like it keeps you really warm. You don't have puffer vest?
I might. I don't know.
I don't know how
call
to
it
explain
that.
it. It's almost like is it down that's inside of it? Anyway, it's one of these that it's a vest, so it is a puffy vest.
Okay.
And it's
is it
really
like
warm.
fur or something?
No, it's not. I don't know what it's made of, to tell you the truth. But he bought them one, and then they showed up, and they had the same one on. So all 3 of them, they're like in their 70s. And so they went out on the town together, all dressed alike, and they're having the best time doing it.
In their puffer vests.
Somebody help me explain this. I don't know how to explain the puffer vest. I have a puffer coat. I don't have a vest. I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. But I don't have one that matches my parents. That'd be fun though. Maybe I should
Liz
buy.
would do that. Liz would do that with her mom.
You know what?
Because
I'm
they both
thinking?
have the same personality.
We do have the same personality, but I'm thinking now I want to buy my boys one of these.
Okay, everybody in the family.
And everybody
her
go
mom,
to church on Sunday.
The in-laws.
Dressed like that.
The dogs.
That would be awesome.
The Komodo dragon that they have.
King would look so good in a puffer vest.
They literally do have one of those big lizards.
Yeah. Who else?
Oh, and the deer that come in the backyard.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I love the fact that you get involved with His Radio. I mean, you're family, but you're also the person who keeps His Radio on the air. The community does that. Friendraiser begins April the 5th. And if you're new to the family, that's how we raise the operational budget for this listener-supported radio station. We're a non-com or non-profit radio station.
Yeah, and it also keeps things going like the prayer line. You hear us maybe talk about our prayer line, 866-987-PRAY, that you can call or text at any time. And that is just one facet, one part of the ministry of His Radio.
Can I tell you, between January and December last year, over 300,000 people utilized the prayer line.
That's a lot of people. We've all been hurting, especially over the last couple of years. More and more calls and texts are coming into that line. You're making it possible.
And when it comes to people having a relationship with Jesus, over 5,000 called that line and said, I want to know more about this relationship with Christ. Tell me about it. And they're believers because of that. And that's because of people like you who support the radio station.
Yeah, and you can do that right now. We have our spring fundraiser coming up. It's called Friendraiser, and it's going to start on April 5th. But there's nothing like taking the opportunity right now. Just give us that little kickstart. You can do that by going online at hisradio.com. Just open the My His Radio app. You'll see what to do right there.